Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and riveting and amazing Propagandacast with me, host Imperial Dane, the one, the only, Master Propaganda, Hero of Psych, Defender of the Fatherland, off here to 2v2 on Dreux Scout. In the west, it is NimahFrosch and Ghost, forming up here the 116th Panzerdivision Windhund, tasked with pushing onwards into the Allied lines and pushing them towards the Atlantic Ocean. We got here Elite Armour for NimahFrosch with 2-1s, Emergency Repairs, Panzer Commander, Heat Shells, and the Sturmtiger. Jaeger Armour, Spear, and Elite Troops. At least it is Vic and CheeseTonkatsu fighting for a British-American combined task force here. The 51st Infantry Division supporting the 5th Armour Division. We got Mobile Assault with mortar teams. Royal Indian Recovery Sappers. That didn't make sense. Commandos, Vehicle Repairs, Land Mattresses. We got CheeseTonkatsu with infantry with rifle defensive structures, mortar half-tracks, light machine guns, targeted barrages, and the priest. And as always, a big heartfelt thanks to my patron supporters. Without them and their glorious support, the Propagandacast would not be possible. So a big thanks goes out to every single one of those special, wonderful people. Other people enjoy the links by Patreon, or they can donate by PayPal. The links in the description. Another way to support the Propagandacast, if you're already going to pre-order Companies 3, would be to pre-order Companies 3 using the link in the comments and using the code CoH2 written in all caps, in which case I get a cut of the sale there. So, and you finally can just comment, like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. So, we got double sappers there from Vic with the Universal Care. We got CheeseTonkatsu with double infantry, NimahFrosch with 2 full grenades into fast tech and a 2-1. Basil in the corner, meowing, and we got grenades, MD42 there for Ghost. Of course, you can probably already guess which one is going to have the least impact on the current battle, and that, of course, is Basil. Though he, of course, insists otherwise. Forces are being held up in the Universal Carrier. Up north, you can see there, though, Ghost is making fair progress against CheeseTonkatsu, but there perhaps was a ruse all along here as he sneaks up behind the front line here. It's not quite Hannibal there he's pulling off with the Great Encirclement there against Ghost, but he's definitely leaving him overextended and a bit rotten. So thumbs up there to CheeseTonkatsu. In the south, Vic advances for the British Empire. His sappers ready to support his war effort needs. Ghost with a snub here on the way, a German sharpshooter to put some very accurate bullets into the heads of the Americans. And you got Basil being currently quiet because I'm petting him. We'll, of course, have to see how long that lasts before he turns aggressive and wishes to bite me because he's, you know, not particularly bright for a kitty cat. Captain out there for CheeseTonkatsu, a rapid El Capitano. Fairly standard in 2v2 meta games. Saps there charging forwards, a full 10 men with Sten guns assailing the German positions, led by Sergeant Henry Hammond of New Hampshire. No, not New Hampshire. Manchester. Panzer and the Sturm Pioneers, NimahFrosch already, of course, confirmed the Universal Carrier needs other stuff might follow up here. Meanwhile, Vic charges forward here, 2-1 rushes forward. There you go. Anti-tank grenades are they damned in the end of the armored car here. Panzer, though, misses the Universal Carrier, and then a spectacular miss. Up north here, Sniper there with 2 kills as named so far. The Germans are feeling the brunt here of the Allied offensive as their part of Unternehmen Hauptschnebel is going very much pear-shaped, I suppose in this case, bratwurst-shaped. Sturmpionier there, being met with intense fire there. Do get a Panzer shake off in the Universal Carrier. Fresh wave infantry there from NimahFrosch side of the base up north here. Ghost holds the line as CheeseTonkatsu gets ready for the next push. Taking a bit longer to assemble, and we got a pack howitzer rush. An interesting choice there. Not too common, but not necessarily a bad idea, obviously. Not necessarily a bad idea. Up north, Rob squad is flanking a right past everything almost, but gets narrowly stopped here by Ghost MD42 at a fairly point-blank range, which is typically the range you do not want to be caught in by an MG42. Quick turning around here, bold setup there. That's it. CheeseTonkatsu mostly bypassed but lacking any grenades. Oh! Pack out, of course, to the rescue, sending from the Huxley shell that completely collapses Ghost's position like a poorly put together lawn chair from IKEA. The Verbal. In the south here, we got their Sturmpionier routed by the sappers, tried to take out the Universal Carrier, but Vic was having none of it, so German army right now is definitely finding itself in a really awkward spot, and they wiped the MD42 and seized it for America. Freedom. democracy. Pack out those being pushed into the front line here. Anti-aircraft traffic for CheeseTonkatsu. Vessel continuing the attention-seeking meta game. Looking to get petted. 2-2 there for Ghost. An attempt to motorize the battlefield and turn it back in his favor. And Deutschland's NimahFrosch, by the way, has got his own 2-1 out there. Yeah, we're at the 2-1, the 2-2, and the 2-3 armored cars in that series. Though technically, there was also a side grade, in a sense, a workshop version where they'd stuff a light anti-tank gun, or heavy anti-tank rather, depending on who you're asking, onto it, which couldn't quite swirl around. They would basically turn into sort of like, you know, a bit of a very, very light assault gun, in a sense, as it could also fire fragmentation rounds and not just armor piercing. A little fun fact there. Got that emerge capturing the 2-1 here. 2-2 out there for Ghost. Up north, their points being seized here with the Grenadiers moving forwards. South here, the 2-2 dashes forwards there. No sappers nearby, at least not within sight, but they're nearby, hiding in the terrain. They're ready to ambush any unsuspecting German armored cars. Up north, anti-aircraft moving southwards here, looking to assist his teammate, which does mean that Ghost up north is seeing less pressure. So this does kind of serve a purpose here for Ghost, even if, like, you know, it may not appear so at first hand to do anything besides, you know, try and take out the universal carrier. It is, in fact, also dragging away Americans from the north here, though arguably, if NimahFrosch isn't ready for that, it's going to be a lot of trouble. And there we go, Ghost with a command of his own. It is elite troops. The stun grenades, or concussive grenades, stormtroopers, the Eagle Infantry upgrades, the Panzer Constitution ability, and finally the Tiger Ace. Sturmpioneer, they're suppressed by the half-track, Pack 40 for Ghost, the Panzerabwehr only 40, bit short on infantry. Would recommend some more troops, perhaps some stormtroopers. Quickly moving into lie down some barbed wire there up north. Grenadiers before rolling up here against the captain pushing forward there. Immediately suffers a loss as the numbers say, "Goddamn snipers! We need snipers of our own, but sir, we don't train snipers. Why not?" I don't know, sir. I guess High Command feels it's a bit wimpy. Goddamn High Command. Actually, I don't know why the Americans didn't have snipers, though. They literally didn't train them. They had marksmen, but for other reasons, they apparently weren't big on snipers. But I don't know the specific reason for that one, actually. Ralph's got Captain pushing forwards there, but it wouldn't be surprised if it had to be something really silly. That's half the time, and, you know, sometimes you'd figure there's something should be obvious, and then turns out High Command just, you know, didn't think it obvious. Like, you know, the British, for example, didn't have any submachine guns at the onset of the war because they didn't think submachine guns were, like, you know, an actual, like, serious weapon to, like, be worried about. You know. Anyways, half to Ralph's got funds going to the EC, getting a quick loss in the ambulance away there for CheeseTonkatsu. A good push here from the Americans, pushing the Germans onto the back foot here, disrupting the supply lines, and certainly securing America and the Commonwealth here a significant resource advantage. The centre here, oh, straight to mine with a 2-2-3 there. 2-2, they're going for the half-track, almost got it here. Catching there. CheeseTonkatsu off guard and unprepared. There we go, the 2-2 gets the half-track. Great kill here for the Germans. A significant blow here to CheeseTonkatsu, removes a linchpin of the defense and makes the armored car much tougher to stop. But there we go, the other armored car, though, goes up in flames here. Asvik and his universal carrier there pepper it with a few extra bullets for good measure, which sets off the fuel tank. Up north, MU-42 standing about. They're not entirely sure what it's supposed to do there. Back here, nothing further happening there for the Allies. As of yet, no weapon racks, I believe. No grenades. We do get more infantry for CheeseTonkatsu. Vic got some commandos out there with the silent Sten guns. No additional infantry yet for Ghost. And for NimahFrosch, we just have the free foot of the Sturmpioneer and our light infantry Geschütz. Possibly in part response here to the American pack howitzer. Northeast sniper busy ground points to rushing forwards here for Deutschland. South sappers there looking to thwart a German advance towards the southern field point. Allied lines now heavily focused around the centre, so theoretically a southern flank that could work out. Stun grenade there, catch the sappers. Commander coming forwards. Note the hold order fire here so that they get away the positions too early. Filters caught out in the open. There you go. He's also, yeah, there we go, going to push forward now, unleashing the silent Sten guns there. The Allied troops, or the German troops, they're definitely not Allied. Light gun bomb off here. Quick explosion there. 2 kills on the commander so far, and of course that can quickly grab up north. The German sniper keeps murdering away. Then we got a 3rd Grenadier squad out for Ghost. No Stormtroopers or Panther Grenadiers, sadly or tragically. Captain, they're ordering some men to get on him, but one does question where they're supposed to go after that. Back here, healing reinforcements. In the south there, Vic making good progress with the sappers. Commandos with 4 kills in the name. Got the armored car racing 40 veterans. He 2 achieved on it. The lack of an MG42 team is making it tough for Ghost to stop CheeseTonkatsu, but now they got a lot of infantry with light machine guns. That said, I mean, even unless it was a heavy car, the MG42 could actually still struggle with that because the Rifle Squad could just blob up and just kill the gun a lot of the time there. They do get a heavy car, but they do get instant explosives around here. That said, unfortunate retreat path right in front of the Rifle Squad. You can see there another wipe here on Ghost. Going for more Grenadiers. Still no Stormtroopers. I mean, one way to try and deal with this would be to set up ambush troops which arrive and can't just walk up and, you know, just spray with a lot of lead from a safe, comfortable distance. That could be like an option to consider for Ghost. But anyways, caught here by the MG42. They've even got, I think, the Vickers supporting in the south here. As Vickers brought in his own machine gun in the south here. NimahFrosch looking to flank around here is encountering stiff British resistance, almost as stiff as their upper lips. The mouse carrier there at ace level already, very good. Up north here, slow progress here by Ghost. Against the position of CheeseTonkatsu has actually built a fuel cache to assist him and his team moving towards armor faster. In fact, Vic is able to go for a pretty fast Cromwell, which is certainly one of the British traits. They can push out tanks really fast. In fact, you could arguably have this going a bit sooner, maybe even like, you know, probably like a minute, maybe a minute and a half even, so... You know, something to consider there. Okay, that's just Otto flying through the air. It's just like, what? What's going on? Oh, it's Otto. It's Otto. Don't worry, it's Otto. MD42 there getting rifle grenade here. Can he take it out? Almost got it, but not quite. Packhouse, they're gaining veterans 1 there. Still only 1 kill. That's kind of impressive in a strange way, considering how early he headed out. Down position, of course, being hammered. We got the Cromwell away there for Vic. CheeseTonkatsu is yet to take up. Do get tech there for Ghost. As for NimahFrosch, there's obviously no tech yet happening. But there you go. Cromwell tank out there for Vic and the British Empire. The Cromwell Mark IV, adding the tank commander. So that troops being hammered here by German artillery fire here. In fact, we got 2 lightning guns for NimahFrosch. Definitely a believer in the power of artillery. Right, of course, they're getting absolutely decimated. CheeseTonkatsu spectacularly bunched up there for bunching up so much there. That was a spectacular series of barrages there from NimahFrosch. Gutted CheeseTonkatsu. The south of the Sturmpione themselves are being ripped apart and more than gutted. Almost got a full wipe, then the command's almost ready to run the south here. Cromwell numbering to assist the commands against the Fultons here. We got Brandhand Granada here. Oh, yep. These buy some time. I think with the Cromwell around here, there's a hard limit there on how much time NimahFrosch can buy in the south. Kevin from sniper there getting some good kills on the commanders, but the sniper himself has suffered quite extensive damage and could probably do with some first aid. Like a base here, support McCormick's on there for Ghost. Go then for the Panzer IV, the Panzerkampfwagen 4. Go. Hauling in his own medium armor. CheeseTonkatsu with the major on the way here, so he'll be able to push first Sherman soon. And that just means NimahFrosch is the only player here then who's not really... Oh. About to say not set up for, you know, next tier. Medium armor. Of course, he could still like go for mechanized regiment here. In theory, but he's going to go for the Schwerpanzer quarters here, I imagine. Northeast straight into the Grenadiers here with the MD42. Pretty risky there by CheeseTonkatsu, to be honest. Rifle grenade as well here. Chance of getting a wipe there. It's there, but in this case with the Rifle Squad also note he's using the captain again with the on-me ability to boost him a bit further. Increasing the lethality here of his rifle blob against Ghost. Again, the lack of heavy machine gun team here or anything like, you know, splashy makes it difficult to like really stop this onslaught of, you know, olive green and firepower. Of course, his Panther 4 has finally arrived to the front line, but we'll need a bit more time to actually encounter the Americans. We got Vic here with a land mattress, giving him some significant rocket artillery launch at the Germans in the south here. Push forwards here by NimahFrosch against the positions of Vic. Gobal has gone for anvil tactics. We're seeing there the heavy sap upgrade there. Would have figured actually go for like hammer tactics and a comet here, but clearly Vic has other plans, grander plans. In the south, sappers push back here as NimahFrosch forces are making fairly good progress. Maybe the field cache is also like playing in here, considering they want to go for the Churchill, maybe not, since the comet obviously is also more fuel intensive. But otherwise, we'll see there. And we got CheeseTonkatsu with the M40 Fleece German tank on the way. We got Bass like asleep right next to my chair. I'm slightly concerned about that, but north here, Panther 4 being fixed up. Should add a pinlock machine if possible. South, you can see the NimahFrosch is slowly extending our front line here. We can sort of attack the fuel point in the south fairly easily without having to like expose themselves to maybe more concentrated defenses around here. Certainly not a bad path to take. There's also a lot more room to maneuver, but that said, you'll typically not see anyone actually make use of this terrain down here. It's like, you know, it may as well not exist. It's terra incognita. They probably think they'll fall off the edge of the map if they travel any further down there. Panther 4 going straight for the route squad here. Got the Sherman out there for CheeseTonkatsu, 5th colour being added. Sherman moving forward, and the 5th cal there. Gunny's being hammered, and there we go. Almost a full wipe there, certainly highlighting the power of the high-explosive shells than the Sherman. And there you go, just full retreat from Ghost, realizing that's going to go very poorly for him if he sticks around for like even a second longer there. And even there, as you can see, just himself another excellent shot here. Almost gets wiped. The pack is also in deep. So we've got the Panther 4 being rushed into like, so they try and slow down here. CheeseTonkatsu now Vic's armored raid here. Again, really close to some wipes here, but somehow Ghost luck is so far holding on. Barely. Pack's about to get wiped out here. Panther 4 moving in. Shot bounces off the Cromwell's armor. In the south, NimahFrosch move forwards here. Could push for that fuel pump, but it's clearly more occupied what's going on in the center now as CheeseTonkatsu is rolling in more troops, and so is Vic. It's a full-on onslaught here. Panther 4 the firing way, but it's trying to hit the advancing English troops. Panther 4's out there for NimahFrosch as well here. Could maybe consider some overstarting, and Ghost I still think would benefit for some stormtroopers, but instead he's just going full-on grenadiers now. Yeah. Bit of a shame there. Cut-off point hit again. German fuel supplies once more rendered a bit of an awkward mess. The south here finally moving on the southern fuel point here, and NimahFrosch gives the orders. Panther 4 running forward here, 6 kills, veterans you want. Will he go for another Panther 4, Mr. Ghost? Or will he now be trying to stall for the Tiger Race, which I think under current circumstances, the fuel supplies as they are here for the Germans would certainly be described as a bit of risky strategy. In the south here, Panther 4 pushes forward here. Routing here, Vic's very exposed southern flank here so far. Try and take out that universal care there. NimahFrosch and the German army's had enough. It must die. Apparently not that much. Probably figuring they're getting attacked by tanks on the flank, and there we go. In fact, got both CheeseTonkatsu and Vic rushing in their army here to meet NimahFrosch tank, but there you go. Academy are ready here to stop such pursuit. Quick response there, I would say. Quick thing hit them by NimahFrosch. Saps moving forward, they're being met here with intense harrying fire by the German positions, and the assault for Vic is pretty much falling apart here. Second company is thwarted in its assault here. North Italy is built here, but aiming forward to under CheeseTonkatsu's command. Cromwell racing ahead here. 11 kills, very close to veterans who want. Trot on the way to NimahFrosch. That's going to be a stall, possibly now for a King Tiger. As for Ghost, we're not seeing any medium armor, so it's not impossible that already now Ghost is in fact thinking about a Tiger Race. I mean, he does have one medium saying out, but these situations typically always advise having more than one. In south, the commander pushing forward. See if we got a light gun bomber from the Gundese here, push them out into the open with a threat of high explosive death. Otherwise, back to the high explosive shells there on CheeseTonkatsu Sherman. Almost got to wipe their Panther 4, though it's on the response here. Jackson potential here for CheeseTonkatsu. The Allies are now, despite, you know, to some degree, I would say, fairly strong early game, Vic failed somewhat to capitalize on it. And now the Germans are more than happy to push them back. So the Allies, I think, need to pick up the pace once more, sort out the slack, and start strangling those goddamn Germans once more. Vic there with the Firefly on the way here, and CheeseTonkatsu with the Jackson out there. So they're both going for now tank destroyers here to hit back at the Panther 4s. They may also want to, like, you know, start focusing less on the center, and, like, you know, try and launch some flanks, you know, either around the north path here or the south path. Like, I think they need to, like, you know, try and just, you know, slack it out with the Germans all the time. Up north here, the gun is preparing to the raft squad here. Hands for advances. In the south here, we got Vic preparing for a push forward, so we got the forces dug in. But will they be able to assist this assault here from Vic and the British Empire as he unleashes a fair amount of might there in the center here? Mines going off there, Jackson moving forwards. Further northwards here, making another push there, very good. Germans now find their concentration in the center, perhaps a bit risky. And we got Vic here with the Sherman VC, aka the Firefly. Doing something that can definitely threaten the German armor, and particularly the German heavy armor, quite well. Ghost continues his seeming path here towards the Tiger Race. More Pioneers first, though. Has he teched up? Yes, he has. Might be planning to use that Pioneer squad to build the heavy Panzer Corps, who knows? But then he still, like, needs a good amount of fuel on top of the manpower there for the Tiger Race. As for NimahFrosch, with the mechanized regiment, could be planning a Stukasafuss, but again, it's not also impossible that NimahFrosch is going to go, you know what, I'm going to go for the King Tiger, which point, of course, if you were to coordinate it somewhat well, you could get a King Tiger and Tiger Race, you know, roughly the same time. I think at this stage, Ghost, it's a bit more favoured due to having more resources built up ahead of time, whereas NimahFrosch doesn't quite have that luxury. South here, we got the Fulters, the Sappers there, ripping into them with their Khan TKs and the Sturmgewehr. University with 9 kills. Commanders hunting up with Bren guns, Sten guns, and of course light cannon bombs. Aiming for that sneaky wipe, but NimahFrosch here quick enough to respond to this. Up north here, CheeseTonkatsu assault there is being met with a fierce German response here. Already the Sherman's heavily damaged. He needs to commit more infantry first, but he's nonetheless pushing ahead here. He believes in democracy. In the south, Vic is in a life and death struggle here with NimahFrosch. Rockets, they're screaming at the university, they're pushing him back. In fact, we got 2 rocket rifles out. Where's the land matches, by the way? Like, okay, there it is. It just doesn't really feel like it's been doing anything so far. May want to start launching in the general direction of these Raketenwerfers. Like the fasting sounds that great, and there you go. Loses the Cromwell. That is a great kill for NimahFrosch and a significant blow to Vic and the British Army. That he's firing the light infantry guns. I mean, I can understand wanting to silence those, but I feel like the Raketenwerfer should have been the bigger priority, considering, like, you know, they can knock out his tanks, and already has knocked out 1 tank. The light infantry guns, while certainly nasty towards the infantry, are a less an immediate threat to the armor. He has nonetheless, though, suffered some infantry losses. I can't blame Vic for wanting that. You can see that CheeseTonkatsu dispatching force from the central assistance team in the south, as NimahFrosch there races ahead here across the fields. Straight to the Firefly there, though. We've got the chill rockets here, and with that, NimahFrosch is a bit punished here, as he clearly underestimated Vic. And there we go, 1 more shot from 17 Panther gun. We'll leave that Panther 4 naught but molten steel and ashes. Okay, move around in the south here. Big 2 points wide, it's pretty close, but with a slight lead over for the Germans or the Allies at the moment. Ghost getting ever close to that Tiger Race. I mean, he has the manpower now, he has the tech, he has the command points, he just needs the fuel, and there you go, he got it. Now he just needs the will to press the button. go. Tiger Rays out. Equipped with, of course, an 88mm gun based off the German Flak 36. It can certainly rip apart a lot of armor here on the battlefield, and of course infantry. But that said, with a lot of tank destroyers about, the Tiger Race may find its life expectancy cut very short. Allies of once more again focusing center here very heavily, a little bit of center south focus as well. Of course, this makes it easy for the Germans to concentrate their firepower, so definitely not without risks here for both Vic and CheeseTonkatsu. Tiger Race rolling through the center. Meanwhile, NimahFrosch continues his lonely road there towards the Königsjäger. Has some more fuel to save up. I mean, he's almost there if manpower was, but fuel is certainly the other part of that equation. We got a priest out of CheeseTonkatsu, bring in some heavier self-propelled artillery here from the Americans. That set, short infantry. And there's certainly the argument he should have brought in more armor here, but on the other hand, all these captains and all the other things, I certainly don't blame CheeseTonkatsu for wanting some artillery to put that to rest. Meanwhile, another barrage here from Vic, and he's not really landing a lot of hits with it. I mean, I'm fairly certain that's like his third or fourth barrage, and he's only gotten like a total of 4 kills with it. Not quite getting top marks on that gunnery. And there you go, Churchill tank here for Vic. Firefly then laying good shot along to Jackson, and the Tiger Race almost down to half health already here. Pack nearby, though, providing an obstacle heat from Vic and CheeseTonkatsu to pursue the Tiger Race and knock it out. In the south here, Vic swinging through there. Up north, we got the Jackson Priest here. Jackson gets a good shot there. Tiger Race backing off, and there we go. He killed something there. I think it's the remaining pioneers what the ghost had that was actually snuffed out there. So that was like half bad, I guess, there. Certainly a critical unit to wipe. In fact, we got 8 kills here on us. In fact, might have wiped both of the pioneers, to think about it. Let's see if the CheeseTonkatsu can score any immediate other kills here with a priest. Great shot there. Because there with the Sturm Pioneer around them in the south, we got Allied 2 pushing forwards here. We also have no trenches or anything like that here from Vic. Fun fact about the priest, the British actually quite liked it, but the thing is they kind of wanted something with a 25-pounder gun, so they just made their own, and that was the Saxon. Basically, you know, a priest, but just with a British gun. So, little fun fact there. And back here we got the Königsjäger out there for NimahFrosch. Again, that is 2 German heavy tanks here against the Allies. They're going to need, I think, possibly more tank destroyers here. A lot of anti-tank guns to deal with that. Church tank running forwards here for Vic. Finally, some fresh pushes up north here from CheeseTonkatsu against Ghosts here, though definitely need some more support here to really, like, you know, head through there. Land matches barrage again. 4 kills. Pack cards cleared out, recruit, and we got 11 kills on that priest. Definitely doing some work there.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
And can fire already again. Definitely also has, I think, crucially a fairly effective rate of fire, which certainly helps to make the priest, you know, pretty mean if you use it. That's it, the priest is fairly rare. Tiger Race there getting bombarded here again by Allied tank destroyers here. Priest remains silent for now, no sermons there. In the south, the Königsjäger advances with heat shields. They're going for the Churchill tank, but seemingly can't land the final hit there to light it up. And there you go, Chula rockets going straight here for the King Tiger, stunning up the crew entirely. We got Veterans 1 and Firefly in the center there. Pack 40 at watch up north. Gunneers holding up as well here. Priest added in the center, looking, I imagine, to snuff out that pack, maybe, or something else. In the south here, the German assault continues now once the King Tiger has recovered it just a wee bit. Firefly 6-pounder gun, they're pushing him down to a third of its health total, though. Quickly clipping the NimahFrosch's enthusiasm up north here. Panther pulling forward here, encountering a few American infantrymen here, but nothing shows any decisive in terms of resistance from the Allies. Worth noting, CheeseTonkatsu interesting is not bothered with the American M1 anti-tank gun here at all. Definitely a bit rare. Though certainly versus a King Tiger and a Tiger Race, I can at this stage of course understand why CheeseTonkatsu may not be feeling super confident going for them now. Priest almost ready to fire again. It has a, for an artillery piece, fairly short cooldown. I believe it only gets better. Actually, apparently doesn't get better. Packard firing away there. Narrow miss there. Up north, another push here. Definitely starting to get more consistent again about pushing northwards. I definitely feel like there's been a bit of a tunnel vision in the centre here by the Allies, but the Germans certainly have been more than happy to, allow the Allies to commit to. They haven't exactly, like, making any big deal that, maybe the Allies could, like, attack elsewhere instead of just running into everything with their guns. Tiger Race here with the 7 kills, close 32. The Dreux Scout pushed back in the centre here. Smoke being deployed here to allow the Allies to push forwards. Koenigsegg here being attacked by the Firefly and the Churchill tank. Lots of cannon from the Churchill tank. Even got some artillery called in here. Churchill tank down to a third of itself total already. Brutal punishing damage. Then land matches barrage being unleashed to the cannon efforts. Rockets screaming through the skies, and there you go. Almost got one of the cannon efforts, but they're both able to retreat here despite the artillery barrage. Up north here. Goes swinging through here CheeseTonkatsu's northern positions like a hot knife through a cupboard full of butter. However, that metaphor is supposed to make sense. Priest almost ready to fire again here. Firefly, or Jackson, firing at the King Tiger, or Tiger Race there. Taking a nice turn it from the pack forward. We've got the sniper there with 38, 39 kills. Churchill tank being fixed up. North there we got the Firefly on the move. Further up north there, Panther moving about. Koenigsegg engaging there, 9 kills, close to Retency 1. Jackson the Firefly going for the King Tiger. 1/3 self total off. King Tiger down to 1/3 of its health total now. Quickly losing a lot of health there up north though. We got the Tiger Race exploiting this to attack from the north here, catching Vic and CheeseTonkatsu in a bit of a sticky spot there. No additional tank destroy anything else here from either CheeseTonkatsu or Vic. Particularly CheeseTonkatsu kind of would have figured by now going for a second Jackson here to match off against the Tiger Race and the Panther, but interesting enough, CheeseTonkatsu is just filling resources. Pursuit here going in. Positions crumbling here. Panther down to 1/3 of its health total there. Got the Jackson with its 8 rounds, increasing damage and penetration here. Shoots, misses, close call in the south here. NimahFrosch assault is going forwards, but with significant losses, hitting the southern field as well there. Stuckers of us for NimahFrosch. There wants some rocket artillery up north here. The assault continues here for CheeseTonkatsu. Still no additional tank destroyers. Not much there. Good shot there from the Jackson. The ace of there. Tiger Race getting into 2, and there you go. Pack 40 firing away there. Priest. Veterans you won. 14 kills. Got 105, 277. The Allies do need to get these victory points. At least they're scoring the northern one. Nice use of self-repair ability. Also worth noting using the spearhead ability, which is a very nice ability for Tiger Race as well, which is similar to the one that King Tiger, in that it gives basically better turret rotation within a particular arc of fire. It also gives you suppression of the machine gun, which the ability does not mention, by the way. It's very handy there. Plus it gives you better line of sight. So very solid ability here. And we got the similar one being used here on the King Tiger. So thumbs up to NimahFrosch and Ghost. Thumbs up. Part 1, the centre of the season, that victory point as well there. We got 92 as 277. And the sniper on the move here, catching a few of CheeseTonkatsu's men there in a bit of a sticky spot. Further up north here, points being seized as well away from the Americans once more. Stuckers was barraged off, he does basically bugger all. Second Jackson out there for CheeseTonkatsu, and now the tank destroyer to match the German armor with rocket fire here. Plummeting into the position of NimahFrosch's infantry, leaving the 3rd Panzer going to do a company in a bit of a sticky spot up north here. Tiger Race with snipers moving forward. See, more rocket fire here. We got 2 land matches from Vic. I mean, that's not necessarily a bad idea, but I think lacking otherwise a lot of like tools to deal with both the King Tiger and the Tiger Race. I can't help but, you know, question the sanity in going for that much rocket artillery. Tiger Race, they're blitzing forwards for Deutschland. Jackson, they're moving forward. We've got the Churchill tank basically blocking here for the Tiger Race shots. Need to pop some matrix rounds here. There go Firefly as well there. Jackson are knocked out here by the Tiger Race. It's 18mm gun there, setting off munitions, cooking the crew alive. Churchill tank there down to half health. We got Panzerfaust up north, infantry pushing forward to the CheeseTonkatsu's command into a pretty much exposed German position, but nothing to defend it. In fact, King Tiger there with 12 kills, half H-22 here. Got 70 numbers, 275. Good shot there. North there, Panther 4 Tiger Race there, half H-23. King Tiger then flanking the Jackson. H-trap round, or heat rounds, they mean. Where that Jackson's on fire, leaving CheeseTonkatsu with no anti-tank assets besides anti-tank rifle grenades. No tank destroyers, no anti-tank. In fact, now they are going for the anti-tank guns. Firefly here near ace level. Churchill tank there with a damaged engine. Up north here, CheeseTonkatsu's assault is once more thwarted here as the Tiger Race continues to prove to be a massive obstacle. Panther 4 rolling forward here. We got 50 points left for the Allies. Americans and the British are definitely in a tight spot here. Panther 4 straight into mine, suffers a damaged engine, unsurprisingly. Southeast Stuttgart's barrage was really close to like doing some heavy damage there to Vic, but needed to be angled slightly differently. Panther on the way there for Ghost now. The Panzerkampfwagen 5 commanders added here, executing NimahFrosch's infantry in the south here. North air points with the re-echelons. Another land matches barrage here. Tiger Race pulling forward onto Deutschland. White Foss is being unleashed here. And he is retreating through a storm of rocket fire there. Taking some nasty losses, but no heavy wipes there in the south here. The Allies are securing back at the center, southern victory point. Panther almost done up north there. CheeseTonkatsu snuck through there with a re-echelon squad. This battlefield is turning into quite the mess here by now. And the Panther is right around the corner here for Ghost. Right around the corner. That Firefly is supreme and closer to the ace level. Good shot on the King Tiger, gaining at the ace level. Increasing its damage overall done, which is very powerful. There you go, great shot on the Königstiger up north here. Tiger Race remains a bit behold here. Veteran defeat nearly achieved. Lieutenant being absolutely pulverized. Alongside the other troops under CheeseTonkatsu's command. We got 18 minutes 264 here. The Allies are finding a desperate find. We've got the Vickers flying away there. May want to pop take aim there. It's a fairly overlooked ability, but in purpose could in some regards be considered similar to the Incendium piercing rounds, except you get more range, but I don't believe you get as much damage. But, you know, I still think that is a pretty good ability to utilize as well. Northie Panther roaming forwards. Got 18 minutes 260. The Allies are desperately hanging on here against the German army. Sabres pulling forward against full. Got a banhand gunner off there. South University is still alive despite everything. Vic has been able to keep his University alive for this long. That is actually kind of impressive. Yak pans out for NimahFrosch. Shoots and misses the University there with its high velocity send from the gun. But clearly NimahFrosch wants that thing dead. So he charges in with the Yak Panzer just to knock it out there. And meanwhile up north here, the Tiger Race is... Oh, that's actually the Panthers on the offense. I actually thought that was the Tiger Race. Try and take out that prey spot with the damaged engine. Ghost has no way of catching up with it. Tiger Race is good to go again here. Rolling ahead for Deutschland. More rocket artillery in the south here. North point claimed back. We got 6 points left now. That soon become 5. There we go. And I think at this point, the Germans have won. I think the Allies' chances of getting back here are slim. And there go. They realize it and concede. So GG, game over. They lost for the Allies, a victory for the Germans. A good start for the Allies, but I feel like they didn't quite leverage it, I think, well enough. And I think they made some tactical mistakes. They got basically too focused on the center there. They should have relied more on outmaneuvering their opponents rather than just, trying to batter them down. The Germans were instead able to, I think, exploit that and turn the game around there and actually manage to pull into like 2 heavy tanks. And that way actually lead that to victory. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. You'll learn something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment, tell your friends, and of course consider donating or pledge on Patreon. This is Imperial Link saying cheers. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all tomorrow again for another episode. Bye.